Oh.
Hello, welcome to SpeedGaming Live 2019, a link to the past randomizer tournament. So, the soda can has different patterns on it, but it has overlapping colors and reuses colors in the color palette to make it look like there are different pixel patterns when if you broke it down to the different codes of the it doesn't actually have different colors, or it does actually have one pattern on it.
So, I think, is jkoper doing... I think that was like a speedrunning seed.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
A lot of different tools out there that you can use to get into this.
Looks like we're almost ready to go here. That is quite a name.
Pretzel, 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 pretzel. Making me hungry.
All right, looks like we're kicking off things right now.
Nice Link's house opening. Gonna go visit our uncle, see what he has for us.
Ooh, the 1 rupee drop for jkoper.
Already ahead.
Yeah.
So Jet, what are we looking for at the start of the game here?
Weapons, bombs are nice. You do want to get a couple of bombs so that way you can do Kakariko Village. Be able to get all the items there in one go. Some rupees would be really nice so you can visit the bottle vendor, or if you have to, buy some bombs from the shop that's in town.
A tier 1 tree pull from Solski, just 10 arrows, so hopefully they'll find some bombs or rupees along the way.
And they're grabbing some magic here, just in case they run into a magical item that they may want to use as a weapon, like the red cane or the blue cane or fire rod. So always a good idea to think ahead.
So just hearts in this opening, which is nice for a healthy seed, but doesn't really help the players at this point in time.
Yeah, but it looks like both of these guys are heading over to Kakariko Village. Pretty standard play.
Well, if they find enough hearts, then they can just tank all of the bomb explosions and get through escape, right?
That's true. Well, we need to find some bombs first, or some money to buy them.
Oh, we have a small divergence here. Solski's going to take the south route to town. There are 2 bushes that you can farm bombs from, so it looks like he'll pick those up. jkoper's heading up to Lost Woods. Maybe he'll get lucky with some drops here.
Yeah, didn't check Lumberjack, though. So he's got his tier 1 tree pull, 10 sticks, arrows, I guess you call them.
And it's a 50% chance to get these bombs under the bush, so Solski kind of lucking out here.
Yeah, what, 3 out of 4?
Yeah.
And 3 bombs is really the magic number for the town.
Yeah, he's pretty set for now, and we'll see what's at the race game while jkoper checks the Thieves' Hideout here.
Oh, that's important. Our first glove.
So where does that take us? What do we do with the gloves?
Well, right now it gives us back of escape. Eventually we'll use it to maybe get up to Death Mountain. It's a very important item. I didn't catch... Did you catch the library?
It looks like bombs.
Okay.
They found the bombs.
Well, they found them. They can't even get them because they need the boots to access those. But good to know that you don't have to go back.
So unfortunately, jkoper doesn't have enough rupees to buy bombs. He has no bombs, so it looks like he's going to take a look at the well. Hopefully he'll luck in the bombs or enough rupees to buy some bombs here.
Yeah, it's a bit of a gamble, but I like the play. So you will have the money to purchase the bombs. There's some money under the pots here.
We have a book, though, and the Moon Pearl, which is more important than the book.
Oh, maybe.
So we have a book and we have a glove.
You get an early ped check, you think?
Oh, that could be interesting. With Solski routing south to north, he would probably have a better opportunity to route that in.
Right, he'll have to go to the forest, check the mushroom spot and the Thieves' Hideout already.
And with the bombs that Solski picked up, it looks like he is electing to go to this bomb hut down in the southwest corner of Kakariko and just farm up as much as he can, because you need those weapons to be able to make progression, so it's a good play. But jkoper was able to kind of bypass that option by just paying for bombs, so different strategies from different runners.
Unfortunately, he will have to return to the well if he wants to see what's in the back, since he didn't have bombs at the time. But yeah, so we got our book, we got a glove. If we get a fire source and some sort of weapon, they can beat Desert. That could be our progression.
We might
Boots.
need the boots to finish it.
True.
Oh, that's going to be a nice consolidated Kakariko for Solski, since he can also do Sick Kid. jkoper's going to have to go back and forth a couple times to pick up all these spots that Solski's getting in one loop.
Yeah, a little bit. The only thing is Solski went south to north, so he's going to have to kind of go back south to check that Sick Kid. But they're right there in Kakariko. It'll be a pretty quick check for both of them.
Yeah, we'll see who comes out ahead, but Solski might check that pad, might also check Lumberjack, which is going to be more time spent, but more knowledge.
So not too much, not any immediate progression outside of the glove.
Okay, so jkoper pieces. I don't even think he got that bottle from the well. Not that, well, we'll see if it matters.
It looks like he's chasing the glove that they found in the Lost Woods hideout. So he's going to the back of Escape, like you mentioned.
Yeah,
That's
we have
opened
3
up.
chests here, not necessarily 3 items, but 3 chests.
Right, could be key, could be map.
And I don't think we just saw Bottle Vendor. Just a blue boomerang, the good boomerang. Bunch of nothing in the back. And nothing from Sick Kid, too.
You
Just some
can
cash.
use this money.
You know what, guys?
Hmm?
They have a glove. Zora is within logic. And they have no money. So this will be fun.
Well, we're going to go down to the South Shore. That's what jkoper's saying here. And going to check the dam, any Moldorm Cave. There's a lot of opportunity down here to find money or other progression.
Moon Pearl's another important item that jkoper has right now. It will allow him a sequence break to check the waterfall ferry as well. Logically, it would require flippers, so if you find something important in the waterfall ferry with a minor glitch, then that could give him a clue to finding flippers later, should they need them.
So given their only weapon is bombs, here we go.
He's getting really low on bombs, too, so he's got to make each one of these count. Ooh. Oh, if he gets both of them.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
nice
done,
job.
jkoper.
Unfortunately, it doesn't have a bomb to check Ice Cave now.
Hold on. Maybe there's a chest. Interestingly enough, Solski heading over to Eastern right now. We got a quick map check, no bombs for jkoper, which is unfortunate. But maybe he'll be able to do the fake flipper like we mentioned. He'll be able to route that together and have enough rupees for Zora at the time.
Yeah, jkoper still has the opportunity to buy some bombs. Maybe we'll see that from him. Oh, he's able to farm some as well.
Did he even check library and race game yet?
I don't believe so. So he might be doing that now and maybe finishing up those other Kakariko checks while farming a few bombs here.
Oh, wow. I know where Solski's going next.
So thanks to the new version of Randomizer, we have progressive bows now. So originally that might have been the bow or that might have been Silver's, but in this case, since we have progressive bows, you're always going to get the bow first. And then the next time you find this bow item, it would be Silver's. So bow right at Eastern is really useful.
Aside from being required to finish his dungeon Solski has coming up, it's just a way more reliable weapon than the bombs were.
Wait, you don't like throwing bombs around? That's not good.
Nah, they blow up.
I'm sorry, chat.
Why do you lob them right over the plate, Jet?
Oh no.
So now what's interesting about Eastern Palace is there are some dark rooms in this dungeon. So some of this dungeon is not available within the logic of the game, but Solski can sequence break it by going through the dark rooms.
And something
without a lamp or a fire rod.
right, something useful is he has a bow, he has a boomerang, so he could use it to help him find his way through Eastern here.
Oh, are we using the new difficult item placement that puts Eastern in logic with Fire
yes,
Rod?
I think so.
Advanced
Okay,
item
that's also a
placement.
very recent change along with the progressive bows. I'm racing too. I should probably know this stuff. Might be.
So there are 3 chests with items in Eastern. Solski already picked up 1. It was just a green rupee. So he'll get 2 more if he opts to complete this dungeon.
So the fact that Fire Rod could be the required item to get through Eastern means that Solski's information he gets from sequence breaking could be more valuable than if it were only lamp required.
Right.
So I touched up on it briefly, but a lot of times sequence breaking can yield extra information if you understand how the logic works. So say Solski beats Eastern Palace, and then the Armos Knight, the boss of the palace, drops Flute. Then he knows that either Fire Rod or Lamp has to come before Flute in the logical layout of the seat. So it could help him narrow down the locations of Fire Rod or Lantern if something important is locked behind them logically.
So here he goes into the dark rooms. Looks like jkoper's following suit into Sahasrahla and Eastern. Got to get a key under the pot here in this dark room, and then head over to the Eastern Palace Vanilla big key chest that he will check, and then he'll head over to Armos. Nice.
Green pendant is Vanilla Eastern Palace. Thank you, Sahasha Shabu.
The official pronunciation.
But that means that by completing this dungeon, they'll unlock an additional check at Sahasrahla.
Oh.
That is a very timely find for Solski. This is going to make the next dark room a little easier since he'll be able to spot where he is by sword sparkles.
But that is the 3rd item in this dungeon. So the green pendant, like you mentioned, Ali.
Oh, you know what?
We'll
Okay,
unlock
it
an
looks like Solski's going to finish this up. So we're not hearing this right now, but I don't think Solski's done a map check, but he can listen to the music of the dungeon and know that this is a pendant. So is he just finishing this hoping that it's green pendant? Or is he not counting, or did he check
he
it?
did a quick map
Okay.
check earlier.
Someone checked the map.
Yeah.
All right, then. Or he could also have talked to Sahasrahla while he was in there. But
I mean, it makes sense if jkoper talked to Sahasrahla as opposed to, checking the map, so.
So our runners are fairly close to each other. We'll see if jkoper decides to continue after he gets the sword or if he abandons the green pendant, because they're actually running out of things to do
so
at this point in time within logic.
what I'm looking for right now is Solski's face after he defeats Armos Knight to see if he's surprised that it's a green pendant. And we can also ask him about it during the interview.
And coming up here is the Armos Knights fight for Solski, so take a close look, and we'll see if he can execute a quick kill on the Armos Knights, where you can kind of skip the final form of Armos, where he turns red.
I have no idea where the eggplant is standing. It's just the sprite is messing with my head.
Textbook fight for Solski. Very good.
Beautifully done.
He doesn't look too surprised.
All right, let's see if Sahasrahla has something good for us. That is still outside of logic, though, since they don't have a lamp or a fire rod. Still, they got a sword out of this venture. Pretty good.
The sword, though, is lamp locked, I think.
Or
There aren't
fire
any
rod locked.
There aren't any torches.
Yeah, there's no torches in that area.
There aren't any torches
oh, the
on
sword.
the path.
The sword,
The
right.
sword,
So the
yes.
sword is out of logic.
Oh my.
Wow. Okay.
That
So-
is a required green pendant.
A required green pendant, and also later on, I'm sure they're going to have to find fire rod, and depending on the location of lamp, this hook shot and sword could be clues to finding the fire rod. It'll be a clue to finding one or the other. We're not sure which yet.
So this is huge. Solsti's probably going to head up to Death Mountain after this. With hookshot, he can get to the right-hand side. There's a lot of chest over there.
Also out of logic.
Yes. I mean, they're already out of logic. You might as well just stick with it.
Well,
You got to
this
run with
early
the egg.
stage in the game, before
plan.
you get Dark World access, you really want to try to go for density. And,
Yeah.
I mean, that's why Solski went over to Sahasrahla. 3 quick items, found the bow. Now you can go to Eastern. Hey, found a sword, found the hookshot. Let's go to Death Mountain. Death Mountain has a lot of items.
If we had a stun price
But
check yet, we
looks
might
like
get
he's
it.
actually heading to
5 arrows.
the South Shore now.
Oh, he's just... Solski's proving me wrong.
Nice. Yeah, East Death Mountain is overrated, Alcar.
I guess.
So, within logic, speaking of within logic, given that we had a small key in the back of escape, we have the front of escape is one option for our runners. Zora, I mentioned, and we have the desert area, including Agena. That's really it for terms of where progression can be locked. If you're staying within logic.
I do also want to point out that jkoper did elect to leave Eastern Palace
That's
without killing
huge.
Armos,
Oh
so he
my.
has not received the green pendant
Ooh.
and will not be receiving that hook shot anytime soon, because it looks like he's going down to the dam, probably going to head towards desert with the book in hand.
Yeah, and both runners got a blue mail out of the dam and a vanilla heart piece from the sunken treasure. Yeah, and I guess jkoper's going to head over to the desert from here. He kind of wanted the combo dam with desert. If he builds an aqueduct, he can irrigate the desert.
I'll take some time.
I mean, there's the water right there. He just flooded it.
But see, there isn't any aqueduct because this is not SMZ3.
Oh, I see.
The more you know.
So Solski cleaning up this pretty disappointing mini Moldorm cave, but
that-
we will probably see the Ice Rock cave
Yes.
from him, because he
Yes.
does have the
No, we
bombs.
won't.
Or not.
Solski proving
Just
you
kidding.
wrong this time.
I shouldn't predict these things. Yeah.
Solski's unpredictable. jkoper is checking desert for us, so we'll get some new items here. Probably our progression, maybe. Okay, now Solski has to be heading towards Death Mountain.
Certainly looking like it. This could be an opportunity to check Lumberjack as well if he so chooses, but we still don't have the boots, so we can't access that. We don't really have a logical way through Aghanim either.
So just a fairy bottle for jkoper over here. Nice safety to have. There are 2 chests of items in desert. He might not be able to get them depending on where what's on the lamp, which is behind boots. But there are some rupees there, which he'll be able to access and getting us closer to that Zora check.
Which, as you mentioned, is in logic with the gloves,
Yep.
so Zora could be holding something spicy.
I have a feeling.
Like the
Feeling
fire
pretty
rod,
good.
which would open.
That would open up the hook shot, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely need the fire source before we can get that back in logic.
Yeah, I guess is that it? Just Desert Palace and Zora, are they the only logical checks left?
Ice Rod Cave.
And
Ice
front of escape.
Rod
Front of
Cave.
escape.
True. We have not seen that as well.
Oh,
Well,
speaking of fire rods,
That doesn't open up the sword though.
it
But it
doesn't
does
open up the
hook
sword,
shot.
but it does give us the hook shot.
Which doesn't
within logic.
logically open up anything, because they need a lamp to
Oh,
get up to
true.
Death Mountain. So that's fairly interesting. But we do also now know that desert is boots locked, and since it is a crystal, we're gonna have to be looking for those boots at some point.
That's good. It's always nice when you're going to get boots in the seed.
Oh, yeah, looks like jkoper has Zora on the mind here.
So now we just have, in terms of within logic, front of escape or Zora. And one of them has to be our lantern, maybe, or I guess it doesn't have to be lantern. Could be flute.
Right. Well, we'll see what Solski has sequence broken up here in Death Mountain. There's 7 checks available in this Paradox Cave.
One of the best items to find up here would actually be the lamp,
Yeah.
because it would say, hey, you needed flute to get up here.
Yeah.
Right.
So it'll narrow down. You'll know that the flute won't be behind any dark rooms.
But we did get a sword
Oh,
upgrade, so we have a nice master sword for Solski here.
Yeah, 2 out of logic swords. He could do dark agate, just go with it.
So it looks like jkoper decided to go back and finish up Eastern. And there's a mirror for Solski in Paradox Cave. And a white eggplant.
A red male there, so these guys are tanking it up here.
So with mirror, he can get over to Hera now.
Yeah, Tower of Hera is available now, and that has 2 items for them to check on. And we know where the fire rod is, but Solski currently doesn't have the fire rod, so Hera could be fire locked.
Oh,
could be an
good
issue
point. Yeah.
Oh boy.
for him. But we also have the ether tablet available since
Because of
we
the
have
book and the Master Sword, yeah.
Yeah.
But really, what's worse, Hera being fire locked so he can't finish, or Hera having an item that's fire locked that he?
I
has
hate
to
when
leave
there's an
behind?
item down there and
Probably
you have
the
to come
latter.
back. Because you're never going to go back, and it's going to be required. All right, just the other boomerang on the right-hand side here.
That's the boo meringue.
All right, Solski might be heading up to Hera now. jkoper's going to finish his thunder. He has the fire rod here, and this is what we were mentioning. This is now within logic. If you get fire rod, because the torches are easily accessed, assuming you get the big key earlier, you can go through here. It's just one dark room.
And he already grabbed his sword, so he'll have fully cleared this whole dungeon out.
Oh, there's a quick map check here. I did see Pod was a pendant,
Saw a pendant on Meyer, I think.
so that would be all pendants. All right, let's see how jkoper does with this quick kill.
Yeah, meanwhile, Solski's about to check this ether tablet, so we're getting some new information from him.
Three bombs, 3 times out of logic.
All right, that is a green pendant for jkoper. He'll turn it in and get himself a hook shot.
Yeah, then we'll see if he wants to stay within the logic and maybe starts thinking about Zora and Ice Rod Cave, or he just sequence breaks the mountain just like Solski did.
Well, this might be fire locked. One chest to check. If it's a
Ooh.
big key, we're good. Otherwise, we're going downstairs. Well, okay, we're going upstairs.
Now he hopes not to find the small key.
Right. Or just get both items. There are 2 items in Hera.
Yeah, the small key could actually be locked behind itself in the basement as well, so more chances to not have to orphan an item.
All right, jkoper got his hook shot. Looks like he might be heading up to Death Mountain now as well.
It's a lot of items. I don't blame him. He'll get that Master Sword. He'll get his mirror. So it's a good deal.
So there was a compass, I believe, in the basement prison.
Oh,
So, well,
there's an item in the
That's it.
basement.
with jkoper heading to Death Mountain, we'll soon find out what it is.
It should be noted that was a really nice bomb jump there from Solski to get to that big chest. And yeah, this might give jkoper an edge here, being able to do Hera in one go.
Yeah, that fire rod location was really interesting. And hookshot being on the first dungeon. Just an interesting layout.
Moldorm's going to take 3 spin attacks with the Master Sword here. And Solski will bypass the enrage phase.
I don't think the rage is over.
And
he's
magic.
definitely mad about that basement item. I think we were talking about that earlier today, in fact.
Really nice convenience item, though, half magic, especially the fire rod available.
Yeah, if
this
you
early.
had Fire Rod, that would be fantastic.
True.
All right, so we're back for Solski. We're back to just Front of Escape and Zora being our items because he didn't really get anything of progression.
Well, he can go to desert and get his fire rod and then come
That's
back.
true, yes.
Oh, that's another option. And then we got ice rod still kind of lingering.
I don't know
for
if
both of these players.
don't know if I'd go out of my way to go back and check Hera Basement when it was still out of logic.
Right. Makes sense.
Zora Flute. I'm calling it now.
The Fire Rod actually, interestingly, opens up the Dark Cross room in the Escape as well.
Good point.
With the advanced logic, so that's something that these runners can be thinking about as well. Although I guess Solski doesn't have his Fire Rod, so he's...
It's not going to stop him from checking it.
Yeah, he'll probably just do it anyways.
Really good hookshot usage from Solski as well, closing those gaps a little faster than just walking. And fortunately has mirror, so he'll have a quick way back to the vestibule.
Oh,
Is
interesting.
he setting up a death warp?
I guess that's one way to do it.
Did he check a Gina and get the fairy? No, he didn't. That would be even worse.
Yeah, he hasn't been over the desert just yet. Maybe hoping to find some boots, so he'd be able to full clear that
It's always such a bad
area.
feeling
But
when
he also doesn't have fire swords. He doesn't
right.
know that it's there.
Yeah, he would have picked that up if he had gotten the the fairy bottles is just troll you sometimes when you're trying
It's
to
troll you
death warp.
before you get mirror.
Yeah, or if you forget you have mirror.
In this case, yes.
I think that's what happened. So all of these chests for Solski are within logic based on where the small key was. I don't think he picked up a map, so...
Map was in the back
Oh,
room,
Yeah,
I
I
believe.
think
Was
map
it?
was in the back three.
I thought there were 2 red rupees back there.
Was it?
I don't know. We'll
I
see
guess
if he
we'll see,
if
yeah.
he switches to his mirror. We'll be able to see if he has a map or not.
I don't think that's happening, based on what we're seeing.
And the red mail too. The red mail death warp with mirror in the back pocket.
Yeah, you found it. It's fine.
Just a red rupee.
Well, the fact that he's going for the death warp tells me he found the map.
Looked like
He does
sliced
not.
up eggplant.
No,
there
he
for
did
the
not
death
find
fight.
the map.
But
Okay.
he's still.
Solski's gonna be disappointed
I-
in a moment.
But he's. Where's he going?
To get the map.
So jkoper has finished the right-hand side of Death Mountain. Well, it looks like he's gonna go up the Hera, and then we'll be able to see what's in the basement here.
Ooh, this could be big.
So Solski didn't find anything of worth in the front of Escape. So, in terms of within logic, we got Zora.
Zora and Ice.
An ice rod cave.
And they never went to Ice Rock Cave.
Oh man.
It's
And
so out
that's-
of the way. It's
just
it's a hard sell.
unfortunate because jkoper it might have checked it earlier, but had an unfortunate. Yeah, Solski got the map. But
Well, now you can see where he's going in there,
Yeah.
right?
That's true. You don't need a fire source then.
Yeah.
that's unfortunate. That could happen to anybody. But still a superior execution from the runners as well. So hopefully it'll be a nice close race here still.
I think it is.
It is right now, yeah.
It's really
absolutely.
close. I think this Hera basement play coming up could make a big difference.
Right.
But Solski is heading over to the desert now. He's going to get that fairy bottle. He's going to get those 300 rupees, which gets him very close to Zora Cash. And then he's going to get the fire rod, of
Yeah.
course.
Actually, he will have.
He'll have just
never
enough.
mind. Yeah. Well, if he could pick up a couple pots in Desert Palace for the extra 6. I think.
Although, interestingly enough, he's not doing a Gina yet. He's going to go to Desert first.
I like it. Because if Desert, puts him out on the east side, he can jump out
Yeah,
from the
yeah.
east door and be a little closer to Sahasra. So with his knowledge, I think this is actually a really smart strategy.
Well, it even pays off with getting the rupees in this case, putting off the Zora play.
Oh, there's
Oh,
a
get
red
it.
rupee.
Oh.
Solski, go back.
And it's gone now.
I think that he may live to rue that decision.
jkoper setting up the bomb jump here. Let's see how it goes. Oh no!
Ooh.
The center fall. Oof. You go down a few floors here. All the way back to the beginning, actually, the lobby here.
Yeah, and just in range of that crystal, otherwise you'd have to mirror to get out. Alright, so Solski does grab these rupees. It is a vanilla stun prize. Or no, that was... I'm getting mixed up with an earlier... It was arrows was the stun prize.
That doesn't really help.
Yeah.
All right, another attempt at the bomb jump here.
So the nice thing actually for Solski is that he can combine his Zora check with Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah. So I think for that bomb
And
jump, I
which
think
has
it's
a
a
farm
2
spot.
pixel window, if
He
I
could-
recall.
He could, at the very least, go to Ice Rod Cave, get that check, and then pop into the farm spot right outside of Ice Rod Cave.
That's true, yeah.
But he probably has to still be thinking about Hera basements because it looks like he's
Well,
going up to the mountain.
he sure is.
Oh no, the backtrack.
Well,
Well, it
he
might be
get
required.
there before
It might be,
jkoper.
it might be. They're gonna get
This
there
is a race.
fairly yeah.
To Hera
wait,
basement.
we're watching a race now?
All of a sudden, a wild race has appeared.
Oh, Mulder being mean, just sitting in the corner over there.
Yeah.
Oh, get those rupees, Solski, please.
Well, maybe he's hoping he finds 6 rupees in the basement.
It's gonna be a blue rupee. Watch.
There's more rupees. Says no.
Oh, here we go.
So it looks like Solski might beat jkoper there by a hair here.
By a Hera?
Yeah.
Oh.
Although jkoper has the sword beam, so he could do the break room strat.
It's true. Let's see if he opts to do that or waits it out. It doesn't really make too much of a difference.
Yeah.
It saves a slight amount of time by not having to hit the crystal in
It's
the next
frames. It's just frames.
room. Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
jkoper gonna have a sip of coffee now.
Getting some nice iframes.
Actually, this is a perfect demonstration. We'll be able to see the difference between them. Get your stopwatches out. Let's see.
Alright, what's it gonna be?
Red rupee, because Solski doesn't pick them up.
Blue rupee.
There's another one.
It's
Oh.
the what?
Now they can. That's huge.
Mhm.
That means
Okay.
that flute is imminent.
So by logic, you were required to go to desert to get fire rod, go into eastern, beat it to get hook shot, but then flutes at Zora.
Or Ice
Or
Rod.
Ice Cave.
Or
But
they're
what's
never gonna go there.
interesting
They're just
is-
never gonna go there.
Solski knows that, but he is out of here. He's going to Aghanim right now because they have a Master Sword, they have a lamp, they have the Moon Pearl,
Given
they
there's
have a
two
glove, they have a hook
locations-
shot. They can do a lot in the Dark World right now through Aghanim.
That's true, and it could be required anyway.
They're both going
Because they should know, they should have the flute narrowed down, but the flute doesn't unlock anything new for them.
there. Right,
yet.
exactly.
So once they complete Aghanim, they get access to the pyramid in the Dark World, and they could potentially route to Catfish. They could mirror there, and then
Yeah.
go check Zora if they have the money. So,
Yeah, the mirror actually makes this a really smart play. So
but then they may have limited rupees for Pod if they wanted to make that play.
jkoper on some map.
Well,
hasn't done
he
the
never
front
checked the front of
Escape.
Escape, so he doesn't
Oh,
know.
okay. But whether
Man.
he wants it or not.
So this is actually looking like a required Aghanim and a required green pendant so far.
The
Is
only
this mean we're
way-
gonna have a required pet?
The only
Could have read it
way.
by now.
No. Heck, no. The only way that Aghanim wouldn't be required is if Hammer turned out to be the other of those other two. Hammer or Gold Glove turned out to be the other of those two
Right,
locations.
exactly.
Or something that leads to Hammer.
Well, they're gonna find out as they start exploring the Dark World.
But yeah, assuming that the Aghanim is required, it makes a lot of sense to do it early, and then use the mirror to combine the checks.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is they don't actually have flippers right now, which would allow them to be more thorough in their, Zora area checks.
Yeah, you
as
can
w- as well.
group it
so-
together with
Right,
catfish.
yeah, they wouldn't be able to.
Couldn't mirror to Hobo, couldn't, go up to the waterfall cave or the Zora ledge, but they can still check Zora, which they basically have a 50-50 chance of finding the flute there.
Mm-hmm. Now, given that Myers a pendant, though, that flute might not be required for the runners.
That's interesting.
It's required by logic because that was how you're supposed to get up to Death Mountain. But
So once we get to the Dark World, what are some of the things that these runners can do? We actually have a lot of
we have a lot with
different
hookshot.
items.
Pretty much everything, except for like King's Tomb and Bumper Ledge, which they can at least see.
And the blacksmith chain.
Yeah, that's true. They can't finish Pod. They can do everything but Helmasaur King.
Yeah, we're still missing the mitts and the hammer. Those are pretty critical items for being able to explore. So those are probably the things they're looking for.
Yeah, and hopefully they'll find Ice Rod along the way. That's never trolled anybody.
It is one of our required items.
Were you even watching the last race?
We don't have any medallions either, so at least one medallion will be required.
No, at least two. I want to see a pet seed. It's happening. Everything else.
But it could still be the same one
This
for
is
both.
secretly all
We
dungeons.
can both have our way. We can have one required medallion for both and a pet.
That's true. That is true.
Still a ways away from thinking about pedestal, though, with Meyer requiring a red cane, some medallion, and then we still need hammer to beat Palace of Darkness. So
That's true. Like, what could even be there? Not Red Cane, not Titan's Mitts.
You just need the dream, guys.
it would be a medallion or ice rod. I
Or a
guess.
hammer. Or wait.
No,
What do we have?
We need
Camera can't be there.
Could be boots.
What? Oh, Pod is a pendant. Ah, I hate this seed.
Or flippers.
Actually, an early Pod check is probably better if it's a pendant.
That's one of the gambles that these guys can make, because they do have the bow, which gives them access to basically all the items in Pod except
Yeah.
for Helmasaur King.
There's 5 chests in there, and they can at least get 4, depending on if Helmasaur has one.
But they can make a whole loop around the world by using the hook shot. They can, go and, as you guys mentioned, you can check Graveyard Ledge and then head over to Village of Outcasts. They can do Skull Woods. They can do Thieves Town without the hammer.
Guys,
Solski.
Solski finally picked up rupees.
But here's the problem. It can't afford Zora and Kiki.
Well, let's see what he decides to do. He's going towards Pod.
Okay. Well, he can pick out rupees in Pod, and that would give him enough for Zora.
jkoper almost at
Zorara.
Aghanim here. What was it? 3 blue ball, I think. Wasn't too many.
Yeah, they're going to have the same RNG for these Aghanim blue balls. Keeps it even. These guys are pretty well equipped for the Dark World at this point. They got half
Red
magic,
tunic.
red tunic, yeah.
It's so weird seeing
Master
that so
sword.
early.
They're gonna be flying through. It'd be nice to have some boots or the flute, which we kind of know where that is.
So wait, is Solski's spray, is he playing as Jkoper's hat? He's got the eggplant hat.
I guess. Is this a co-op? Blind?
It's Mario Galaxy. He's playing the hat.
Odyssey.
Or Odyssey?
Odyssey.
Mario
Yeah,
Odyssey.
wait a
That's the
second.
one.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned, there's up to 5 items that Solski can get here in Pod. He'll be able to clear most of it. We were talking about that. Given that he has the bow, he can do the right-hand side, which he's doing now within logic. jkoper almost finishing Aghanim here, and he'll be joining Solski in Dark World. And then we'll see if he decides to go into pod or skip it.
Yeah, and about the same rupee situation as Solski too. 3 short actually of what Solski had coming in. But if they're running the numbers and realize that Zora is a 50-50 flute, then it could be maybe worth getting.
You get to check Catfish as well.
Yeah,
which is
I mean,
nice.
it's 3 quick overworld checks also, not even going into the Mire dungeon.
Let's see where jkoper decides to go.
Yeah, but we do need mitts before we can consider jumping into the Mire area.
Nah, yeah. He didn't want it.
Ooh,
Good
big treasure
money.
trove there in Palace of Darkness.
Now Solski has enough money. Oh, jkoper heading up towards Catfish. This is a big divergence. Well, okay, maybe not big, but still pretty important.
Oops. What? Maybe he was considering his options for getting past this barrier. 1 of 3 items would be required. He's got the glove. Well, you need the glove to get to Catfish anyway. But yeah, I like this. He's gonna check a couple overworld things and then head on over to Palace or Village of Outcasts, most likely. And the nice thing about that is you can route in Graveyard Ledge along the way, which a lot of times gets neglected.
Mm-hmm.
You could even route in your flute activation because we have the mirror for that too.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice if that does turn up at Zora.
It's gonna be funny if it's at Ice Rod Cave. But then they'll know.
Yeah, he'll know where it is.
The worst part about that is you always want flute to get to Ice Rod Cave faster.
Oh, well, that was Catfish. Never mind.
Yeah.
I got excited for a moment.
I mean, Catfish is pretty excited too.
Wrong
usually
fish.
see
Tossing
him.
items away.
Wrong fish, Jet.
And we get a peek at this Zora ledge too. See if that's anything useful. Just a piece of art.
Solski's gotten 3 items in pod so far. 3 of 5.
But nothing of real value so far. There's
4 of 5.
Wow.
There's a small key here. There's a small key in the spike, the harmless spike way.
I wonder if jkoper would actually just save and quit here and then go take the castle portal.
I don't really know what's
I think
faster.
that
You could
route
walk
around
back.
if you-
Flip.
I would walk back now.
Hold on. Change of plans here, guys.
Vanilla flippers.
Now I can get the heart piece, dude.
Okay, so maybe,
Aw.
maybe flutes at Hobo or the waterfall cave.
It's like, oh yeah, heart piece.
Well, we were talking about efficient routing, and jkoper can actually do a little bit of that.
Efficient routing.
Why do I even talk?
It wasn't just a fish; it was 2 fish.
Purple fish, green fish.
So Solski,
Doesn't
I
rhyme.
don't think got anything of worth in pod.
But did he get the map and compass?
Okay, so looks like Hobo or Ice Rod still have some regression.
Okay, we're back to 2 things of where our flute is located.
Down the T.
And I think with that knowledge, he can actually take this portal
Oh,
and go check
look
Ice
at
Rod.
this.
This is a very clever routing
Yeah.
from jkoper. Looks like Solski might be following suit.
Yeah, it looks like Solski's put a little behind by that pod check, so jkoper's going to be in the lead until he turns back around to go into pod, and
Unless he never does, it's a pendant.
yeah. But I mean, come on, Ice Rod.
You think they're gonna?
There's
It's gonna throw him
nothing-
that much?
There's
Could be on pedestal or something, I
Yeah.
guess. But
there's nothing
We'll
set in
see.
stone, at least until Ice Rod shows up. Oh, we got a hobo flute. He's one of the like the musician hobos.
Okay, so what jkoper
Uh-oh.
could opt to do is he can go up to the portal here, and then when he's
Oh,
in
he's
the
gonna
dark
just
world,
flute out from the little triangle.
Yeah, he can mirror in.
That's cool. When I was a kid, I thought that was the required way to get to Hobo. I didn't ever
okay.
think of just swim to him
Yeah.
from the start. Because they got that little Triforce looking spot. It looks really important.
Now, jkoper is 2 rupees short from entering Palace of Darkness, which might be a good thing for him. So he doesn't really chase that, but we'll see. I mean, I guess we could find something else
Oh, jeez.
that leads us to the
Yeah,
flute.
if it's a mushroom, I think maybe.
Oh, my gosh.
All right, so there's vanilla flippers for Solski.
He might pick up 2 rupees on the way to turn into mushroom.
Okay, please be flute and prove us right.
There it
Okay.
is.
Yeah.
Sequence break complete.
See, we didn't just make up stuff for the last 44 minutes.
Quite the chain of events to end up there, but finally getting everything back in logic. So now they have a whole dark world to explore.
So jkoper's
Yep.
heading up north. He'll hookshot over to the left-hand side. As we were talking about earlier, he can do Graveyard Ledge. A couple other checks on the way, and then activate his flute. The only difference right now is that Solski has cleared as much as he could in pot.
Hmm.
So you see how close our runners are.
Looks like Solski will delay the collection of the flute because it's still kind of a 50-50 for him. So he's going to wait on that.
It's everyone's favorite bootless, Titansless graveyard maze.
Sometimes I look at that and I'm like, no, I'm not walking that way. Just forget it.
Yeah, you got to go through that maze in the graveyard, but it can pay off. You might find one of those items there. So. Oh, interesting. Solski is taking the portal here and is going to mirror
Ooh, I like this.
into the ice rod area. Okay.
Nothing at Graveyard Ledge for jkoper. It's going to continue heading west. Now, Skullwoods is a crystal, and he has Fire Rod, so he can opt to complete it.
This is the worst part, when you have to walk back after not finding anything.
So one of the other recent changes with this version of the randomizer is that the lower right Gibdo room of Skullwoods used to always require a small key because you could fall into it and sort of get stuck. That is no longer the case. It can pretty much be anything.
Okay.
So it could be an item. It
be
could
looking
just
for
be a compass or a map, which is a shame. Really, one of the best ways to route this dungeon now is to do the back first. That way you'll be guaranteed to have enough small keys that you don't get stuck there.
And it looks like that's exactly what jkoper's doing right now. I mean, with the Fire Rod in hand, we can go straight to Mothula if we like. You don't need to find the big key for this dungeon in order to complete it.
Looks like Solstice. Oh, we didn't see what was on the island here, did we?
I think jkoper actually jumped into the water above
That's right, yeah,
that
I
area.
remember that.
Yeah. Check it earlier. But it's a good time to route it in. But I think Solski just wants to get everything back in logic, wants to grab that flute, because it is going to be faster access, throughout Hyrule. Just to get everywhere, because we still have a lot of crystals to complete.
The nice thing about Solski's route as well is, I mean, jkoper did the same, but he's right where he wants to be to hookshot over to northwest.
Right.
Darth World. Deck.
Oh, I think we're going to get a pet
Deck
check.
Master.
Come on. Don't
Dark
disappoint me.
Okay, here we go.
That's the bow. Oh, it's silvers. It's silvers.
Yeah, since they already have the bow and we have progressive bows, that's going to be silver arrows.
That's interesting.
How slightly
Pod is a
disappointing.
pendant. That is a required. Well, not required silvers, but I guess silvers are. always
Silvers
required.
are within the logic to be required, but a lot of the players at this tournament know how to do silverless ganon, so
So how much
probably
do you want to do
not going to be an
silverless?
issue, but hopefully they find a tempered sword along the way, because that makes things a
Hopefully.
lot easier.
Maybe. Depends what you're hoping for.
Fair enough.
I guess I'll accept that pedestal.
Looks like Solski's now making the rounds, same way jkoper was, so we may see some similar routing from him.
Half magic. You got Master Sword, which isn't too bad, but with the half magic and Fire Rod, Mafia shouldn't be too much of a problem. Okay, so jkoper's going to fall into Mafia now. He takes 8 hits with the Fire Rod or just with swinging the Master Sword. Spins, of course, would sort of would double the damage you deal.
Mafia is playing nice here.
Nice.
Sometimes Mafia gets stuck in the corner, but that was a great fight from jkoper.
And the single arrow to go with his silverless bow. So there are 2 items in Skull Woods, and that was the first one that we've seen so far.
Yep, started in the back, so he's going to make his way back to the front because, again, we still don't have a good way to access the Dark World with hammer or mitts, so we need to be able to find those items. And since you're kind of already in this part of the world, since they kind of hook shot it across to get all the way up here, you kind of want to stay in this area. You don't really want to leave, because otherwise it's a long trek back.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. It's such a far walk now. Master Hands trolling Solski a little bit, but he got through it. jkoper still clearing the front of Skull Woods here, looking for that last item.
I think he wanted to take that door so he could mirror back to the entrance there, so that's heads up.
And that's our last item, just a heart.
All right.
Well, it was a required crystal dungeon, so good to get it out of the way.
And he got the information about those silvers, so that's also kind of nice.
So jkoper's going to head into the village of Outcast here. We have 3 items inside the village itself. We have Thieves, which will have up to 4 items in it. Although we'll have to see if they can actually get all of the items, because the big chest, which is behind Hammer, might have an item.
Oh, that would be so unfortunate. But that's the reality of the situation they're in right now. They have, they say, their options are starting to dwindle. They can, follow this route around the world and head towards Hype Cave and the south area of the Dark World. But, I mean, at this point, you kind of probably need to jump into Thieves just from positionally where you are in the world.
Right.
Just makes sense.
Solski tackling Mafia here. Not being as nice. You can see how he sticks along the back wall here.
All right, earns that single arrow there.
All right, jkoper heading in. He did not get a hammer outside in the village of Outcast, so this is a small risk.
But you could find the hammer here, so
you could.
We'll see. Yeah.
Oh, that's a bad sign.
So there's a small key, there's a map, and a compass. If you get all 3 of those, there's an item in the big chest.
The small key gives you access to that big chest in the first place, so that's why it's such a bad sign. But
big key, of course, always going to be one of the first 4 items here, so there's still a chance map and compass are still up here.
Can you imagine small key, map, and compass all on the front? Like, no, you really need hammer to beat this dungeon.
But that means you're going to find 3 items along the way in here, so that's some similar silver lining.
We all know where hammer's going to be.
Solski about to be
it's not on
disappointed. Speaking of the hammer,
No.
Is that what you were going to say?
I was going to say first chest and swamp, but
wow. All right, so hammer is the rest of their Dark World access, and they can easily come back here if they want to. Don't have to walk from the pyramid. Also, they can beat Pod now.
And we can beat Swamp Palace as well, which
Probably more important.
pretty big option right now with 6 items in there.
So they're still looking for mitts. That will give them the Dark World access up on Death Mountain. Also get them access to the last 3 dungeons. Theoretically.
Yeah, still looking for Red Cane. We need some medallion to get into Turtle Rock, and potentially another one for Meyer if that's required to get any of these items.
Need boots.
We need boots and we need Ice Rod. So still a bunch of stuff to look for.
Yep.
But things are starting to come together. I mean, that hammer does open up that Swamp Palace play, as we said. A couple of niche checks like Spike Cave,
Helmasaur King.
Right.
Helmasaur King, yeah.
That's a niche check at this point.
For Solski, it is. Not so much for jkoper.
That might be, honestly, because you don't really want to be going into those pendant dungeons.
Certainly
unless
not when
to.
you have crystal dungeons you can full clear.
Yeah.
Definitely not before going into swamp, but possibly before going into mire. Which is actually kind of funny. It's putting off pod and until later if jkoper does actually end up going into pod because mire is required instead. It could mean jkoper spends extra time in pod because he has to kill Helmasaur King. Unless Helma doesn't have an item. I didn't pick up on that.
Right.
When Solski was here.
I knew Solski got 4 of the items. I wasn't sure if he picked up the last one.
So yeah, if jkoper does end up going to pod, then he's going to have to spend more time in pod than Solski did, most likely.
So jkoper heading right upstairs, so I'm guessing he got all the items here.
I also saw Solski activate the flute there, so that is now available for some fast travel. It looks like Solski's jumping into Thieves. Gonna find that hammer, be on track.
Blind requires 3 hits per phase, regardless of what you hit him with, or if you do spins or not. It's a weird boss. And that is another crystal for jkoper here.
Yeah, that's fantastic. 3 crystals down, 4 to go. But we still need those mitts to be able to access Ice Palace and Turtle Rock and Ganon's Tower.
Solski's satisfied with that hammer. I saw it. Speaking of, well,
Somebody
wow.
snuck into Thieves Town and took the Titan's mitts out, but didn't get very far with them.
I sealed it off, right? Like, you have to blow that open.
So given that we have both hammer and a glove in the Dark World, Aghanim required. I mean, that was pretty clear anyway, given they ran out of logical checks.
Yeah,
But
a quick reroute from jkoper as well, realizing now that he has the mitts, he has a couple extra checks he can throw in here. That's gonna have to mirror to turn the frog back into a prince.
the prince that works on swords. Or I guess it's bread. It looks more like bread.
But this may be tricky to route the... Ooh.
Wow,
Ooh.
that's a required
They're
boots.
tailors. They ditched blacksmithing and went to tailoring. Or leatherworking.
This may be tricky to route the digging game back in. Because it does have that purple chest in tow.
I mean, that boots right there is strategic. Seeing how you can do this hammer dash, rather than just going by hand and knocking down each peg.
Yeah, perfect time. Good thing he checked that first.
For
Oh,
a
what the
powder,
heck is
which
this?
he can check while he's here.
beautifully convenient.
So the seed was mean at first, and now it's like, all right, I'll cut you a break, guys.
For now.
You got this far. We're just gonna stash Ice Rod in on Laser Bridge.
So I think as far as Ice Rod locations go, the best location in jkoper's case would be Helmswar King, and the best location in Solski's case would be Mire. Because I think jkoper would be more likely to go into pod and lose that time.
Well, we were talking about Temperances. They won't have access to silver unless they want to devote a lot of time, so that's pretty good.
So the dwarves had the boots, and the bat had the sword, and the hammer pegs had
Look,
the
they just want you to work
powder.
for your sword.
This is what they did. They tempered the sword and then threw it down the well.
That's true.
They're just like, oh, this one's no good.
This
Throw it
sword's
out.
horrible.
So jkoper remembering to activate the flute here. That'll speed up this purple chest check. So good
I
plan.
think. Did he do the digging game already?
No.
Well, that's.
Yep.
Well, I'll
And
just do that after turning
There's
in
still,
the purple chest.
south of Haunted Grove. There's
Right.
Stumpy, Hype Cave.
The thing is, he can't do digging game while the chest is following him. Also.
Yeah.
This is a good way to kind of separate those checks. And potentially could go straight to desert again, but we also have access to the Mire area, and you could mirror into desert that way. We know there's one more item in desert available.
So a lot has changed in the past 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I think we are down to an Ice Rod and a Medallion for and
Red
Cane
Cane, yeah.
for Go mode. So 3 items now.
And speaking of medallions, we're going to get our first medallion check here on jkoper's side.
Maybe.
As soon as he comes back out, he's going to check.
Maybe he's like, no, I'm not doing pendant dungeons. It's the principle of the matter.
Well, he did skip pod, so maybe he's kind of reserving the right there.
Homework.
Oh, shovel.
Did you say homework?
Yeah.
No, that's actually
Yeah, 'cause
perfect.
he didn't do Stumpy
He
yet.
didn't do Stumpy.
That's
You're
really,
right.
that's true.
Bombos.
It's working out. Oh, and Solski with this save and quit out of Village of Outcasts. That means he has not picked up those boots
Ooh.
or the
Or the
tempered
mitts.
sword.
Or no, he
No,
did
he
get
got the
mitts.
mitts.
Okay,
He got
that's
the
good.
mitts, but it looks like he's heading somewhere else.
But
with
yeah,
those
no
mitts.
boots, which is unfortunate.
Right, which is pretty significant since it means he won't be able to just mirror to desert and finish from here, whereas jkoper can, and it currently is.
Right, yeah.
I think it was a high value call. Maybe he's feeling a little bit behind. 2 chests here in Mire. See if he can get the jump ahead of jkoper.
Well, that pod play didn't pay
Right,
off.
exactly,
So,
yeah.
you're feeling a little bit behind. I went into this pendant dungeon. I didn't get anything of value, so maybe I have to start taking some risks and skipping some locations. And in this case, it's not helping because he's not getting those boots. He's not able to dash around. He's not able to complete desert, but maybe it'll lead him somewhere else where he could find some value.
So we did see 1 item in desert so far. There's 1 more somewhere in here. And there it is. So just the Fire Rod of worth.
And he can get the big key here, immediately mirror and head on to the boss.
Okay, let's see where Solski goes.
Oh, East Death Mountain.
Oh, here we go. High value play.
Like I said, overrated.
Yeah, we've done the light world of East Death Mountain, but the dark world also has 6 more items, and then there's 1 in Spike Cave if we can actually survive.
Plus, we'll get information of what medallions actually required.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. The info is good. I think what Solski might not know it, but he's hoping to not find things in the obvious places at this point. Because the more out in the open the items are, the less likely jkoper is to head into pod, which is really what Solski needs to equalize this race.
Yeah.
He also needs to get down to those blacksmiths soon because those boots are gonna just keep creating a time difference between the 2 runners.
So jkoper taking on Land Mola here with Fire Rod. Each worm thing, Landmo, requires 2 Fire Rod shots.
There's Land Mo, Land Larry, and Land Curly.
Oh, jeez. Bombos for Solski, which is interesting because that's her Meyer access.
Ooh. And he has hook shot, so he can get in that way.
But not Red Cane.
But no red
he
cane
can't
to complete
beat
it.
No silvers for Solski.
But it's a pendant.
Could be 2 items without the Red Cane.
Okay,
Red
here we
cane
go.
could be inside Meyer for all we know.
We need Quake.
Wait.
Vanilla access to Turtle Rock.
All right,
Okay.
so one more item that might be tucked away in an obscure location, I think plays to Solski's favor. There's more chances for jkoper to have reason to go in the pod.
Looks like jkoper is going back for that south route, going for
Another sword.
Hype Cave here.
I don't think there's any way Solski doesn't get the gold sword from the bat, unless he's already in, unless Boots is his go mode and he gets that from the smith.
Right.
Right, but that's interesting because they're kind of on even footing. Because the way the randomizer works is swords are progressive, so you can find your swords in different places and still have the same sword.
Yeah, we got a spike cave check from Solski. This is one of the neglected spots oftentimes.
He does have a blue bottle and the fairy bottle in
Yeah.
order to get through.
Wait, did Solski ever get the fairy bottle from Agina?
He did.
Okay.
So jkoper just found a second fairy there, and honestly probably wouldn't have bothered picking it up if it didn't have a fairy or blue potion in it. On the other hand,
Is that
it's only got 9
eggplant
hearts.
parm that he turns into?
Basically, yeah, sliced eggplant. It's the death
All right,
animation.
here we
Should
have a
turn
shovel.
into pit.
Just rupees. And nothing major for Solski in Spike Cave either. But Swamp is one of the required dungeons that our runners can complete. So we might see that in a moment from jkoper. See where Solski heads.
It looks like maybe Solski might be making that
also
play.
maybe Swamp, yeah.
But he doesn't have the boots, so he's gonna have to walk through it. Looks like he's heading to Hype Cave
Oh.
first. Makes some sense.
Just a piece of heart.
Even better for jkoper is once he finishes Swamp Palace, he'll have both red crystals, whereas Solski needs to get the boots before he can get the red crystal
good
out of
point.
desert.
Yeah, and those red crystals, 5-6 crystals, do unlock the Pyramid Fairy, which has 2 items available behind it. Ooh.
jkoper opting to do Pendant Pod. He can complete it.
Right, which again it might cost him time unless Helmasaur King has a required item.
Maybe he wants the silvers.
Well, he already has a green pendant.
You have to beat Meyer, which we don't have the red cane for.
I would say
Or he doesn't have bombos.
if you end up having the 3 medallions anyway, because he's looking
Sure.
in Meyer for items, I think it's worth walking over there to pick them up.
Sure.
I think it
It's kind
depends
of
on
unfortunate
how
you
much.
can't use them for Vitreous, but
Right.
yeah, it's just the way it goes.
I was gonna say if you still have Vitreous left, but not in this particular seed.
But at least he gets to go through pod with boots. That's a little consolation.
Oh, so he can hover and take the fast route onto the
We'll see.
onto the arena ledge. Is that what you're saying?
Maybe. But here we go into Swamp Palace. This is going to be some new information immediately from Solski's side.
Yeah, 6 items. Let's see if the first chest is hammer, like I earlier suspected. I'm still holding out.
I don't know.
Progressive hammers.
What would that even be like? Getting a map though means there is at least 1 item on the left-hand side.
No one likes to go to the west wing of Swamp, but sometimes you gotta make the trip.
Alright, so our runners are going through their respective dungeons now, see how many items they can get. We already know jkoper's not going to get anything of worth unless there's an item on Helmasaur. Solski, meanwhile, this is all new information for us.
Yeah, this is a strong play right now. 6 items is
When
very
jkoper
significant at this
stage
stage of the game.
jkoper just brought the menu up. He does not have map or compass yet, so we're gonna keep our eyes open on those to see if Helmasaur King has an item.
And yeah, the left side of Swamp is something you can really gamble on in the randomizer here. We could, you know, maybe Solski's like, I'm feeling behind. I don't really want to waste time on the left side. We might see him go straight to Argus and finish off the dungeon and bail. Or he could even go back in afterwards.
Oh. Looks like it's true. He's going straight to Argus. Left side skip.
For now.
Well, if Argus ends up dropping the big key, it could actually be
Yeah, that's
a
not
better
too
route.
bad. There are more chests heading this way in the dungeon.
Right. And the big key could be back here, and then you just finish it off and then
Yeah.
come back in.
But especially Argus, because he's the farthest away from the big chest and all the items back here.
Right.
Dodged by the hot dog spider. And
There's a compass.
Two items in West Wing of Swamp.
Okay, that might be worth the trip, especially if he finds the big key back here. But he could find the big key in the West Wing and then have to
that's
walk to the big
unfortunate.
chest.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
The worst would be if it's a vanilla big key.
Right.
Then it would have paid off to go west first.
So there is still plenty for our runners to do if nothing happens to drop in Swamp. They can go beat Ice.
Yeah, Ice Palace is
Three items.
wide
Nice.
open right now. They
Oh,
can
that's
peek
it.
around.
Wow, not even having to walk to the big chest since the map and compass are still at large in
Okay.
pod for jkoper. So didn't lose as much time checking pod as he could have.
And that tells us that he's comfortable with the Silverless Ganon, as we
sure,
kind of
sure.
expected
Yeah.
from these runners. But he's not going for those silver arrows. All right, rounding out this Argus fight. We'll see if Solski can get 2 Fire Rod shots in the spin. Knocks him out.
jkoper.
Ether, which is useless to us.
King's Tomb for jkoper here. This is another new check.
I
Boots
imagine he'll do the
required.
bonk rocks by the sanctuary as well.
Yeah.
And we already cleaned out like Graveyard Ledge and all this North Route stuff, so they won't have to come back here again, which is kind of nice.
Although neither of our runners checked Bomo's tablet, did they?
No, jkoper fluted to turn in the purple chest, so I don't think he headed back there yet.
So I think that's the last overworld check we really have.
That and Pyramid
ice.
Fairies, which
Sure.
Bomo's tablet and Pyramid Fairy would combo well with Swamp Palace.
And we're gonna see a lumberjack check as well.
I mean,
from
they
jkoper.
killed
They
Aga
killed
already.
Aghanim, right? And he doesn't have any information about
Hey,
it, so
well,
you might as well
I forgot
take a look.
about this.
Yeah.
Oh my.
This could be interesting. So yeah, it does look like that
Come
big
on,
key.
Ice Rat.
That big key is on the West Wing of Swamp. So.
Oh, it could
Solstice's
actually
gonna-
be in the big chest itself.
Oh, right. Okay, nothing at lumberjack. So where are we going, jkoper? Where are we going?
Yeah, so we have ice, there's 3 items. We have 2 items, up to 2 items in Mire, which we know they can enter, not necessarily complete. Looks like jkoper's opting to do ice.
I know a lot of players don't like Swamp Palace because sometimes it can be a bit of a slog. And if
Yeah.
you can get into go mode where you have all the items you need to beat the game before you go to Swamp, you can actually get through that dungeon very quickly. So
Yeah, but the same can
think-
be said of Ice Palace.
Right, I was going to
True.
say.
That's a
I think
fair point.
ice and Swamp are very famous for being able to. The difference between go mode and not is huge. So this is all new information from both of our runners, so keep an eye on each of them. jkoper coming up to a chest here, and then he has a while to go before he's going to get his next chest.
Makes quick work
Oh,
of the Pen
just a map.
Gators. Just a map.
All right, back to Solski. He has 2 chests over here to check. Hopefully he doesn't get the big key. Otherwise he has to walk back.
Well, there's one item.
Now I'm really curious about that Pyramid Fairy. That is a potential nothing. And that is a big key in the big chest.
There you go.
Nice.
All right, so Swamp Palace has been full cleared. Nothing of value gained there, so Solski's got to make some other play. Make something happen. Gonna drop that mushroom off.
This will be the last of the fetch quest for us.
jkoper trying to do a bomb jump here, nails it. That does help you route through this dungeon a lot more efficiently, so good play.
So nothing at Mushroom. It looks like Solski's also going to be going into ice. And you'll be able to see the difference here. I feel like having boots on ice is so much useful.
Yeah, it's pretty useful. You can use the boots to like change your trajectory while you're on ice so you don't slip as much.
Right.
Which is really nice, and there are some straightaways that help make it a bit more efficient. You can see him dash right into the door, because sometimes you can slip past the door, so that's one example.
Yeah. You can actually use hookshot as well to help you stop for the door.
Yeah, you can use like sword, hammer. There's a lot of interesting techniques when it comes to ice physics.
So we have 3 chests over here on the right-hand side. For jkoper, he's going to get the first one here. Just the big key.
That'll help with the routing to be able to check the big chest on the way down to Cold Stare.
Yeah, it's nice to get it sooner than later in this dungeon.
It's our second shield. Not too exciting. Working towards that mirror shield, though. Gotta get that swag.
I mean, they have to get Ice Rod on Laser Bridge, and that will help.
True. Yeah.
Good use of the boots there. Solski setting up his bomb jump. I'm guessing it's okay because I have no idea how that
weird.
sprite works.
He nailed it. Just the compass there in that Freezor room.
So we have an item in the Ice Tea room and an item on Cold Stare. You can see our runners doing completely different routes through the dungeon here.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting tech that you can use in this dungeon, like you can see. Solski setting up this bomb jump to get across, and then, you know, maybe we'll see him jump over to the side that jkoper checked early now, so pretty cool.
And Solski does a nice job in the extreme hockey rink without the boots there, and did actually use the hookshot to align himself with the door more smoothly.
So we got 10 arrows as I believe our second item in ice, so
hopefully something good on Cold Stare.
yeah. So what would really move the story along here? That's the thing. We kind of need two pieces of the puzzle. I mean, Red Cane
Right.
can give us mire completion, So I guess that's, but that I don't think they really want to see that. Like they probably want to see Ice Rod before they see that red cane, ideally, so that they could, do a full clear Turtle Rock. But we still need Quake in order to get in.
I think we have Bombos Tablet. So neither of them checked that. We have up to 2 items in Mire, and we have the 2 at Pyramid Fairy. I think that's all we have.
Wow. And jkoper doesn't even know that he can get into Mire right now because he hasn't been up to Dark Death Mountain. So that might be a play we see from him soon.
jkoper has been to Mire.
Right, but he doesn't have the medallions yet.
He knows that it's
he
Bombos,
knows.
but he doesn't have
Right,
Bombos
okay.
because that's in Super Bunny Cave.
Right. That's what I said.
I was just repeating it to
Yeah,
make sure
thank you.
I understood. I got you.
All right, nice fight from jkoper. Finishing up Ice here. Let's see where he decides to go. And Solski's about to also fight Cold Stare here. And you can see how close our runners are. But with boots, jkoper's able to get a bit of a time advantage because of it.
This could be that Bombos tablet check. This could be Pyramid Fairy. You can kind of route them in
Well-
reasonably well.
jkoper might be doing Swamp.
I think
He hasn't done it yet.
Oh, right.
Solski saved some time
He hasn't
with with good dungeon routing, I think. He seems a little less behind after finishing Ice Palace than I would have thought. Maybe just had, better navigation.
All right, here we go. One of the last overworld checks. Just a
Oh,
render.
baby.
That is 5 crystals apiece for each of these guys. So it's a nice close race, and they've actually completed different crystals from each other.
Yeah, and if jkoper does Swamp now, he'll almost surely full clear it. Which he would probably do before checking Pyramid Fairy, since he can't check Pyramid Fairy till he does it.
Yep, he'll be able to route it together right after this.
And I think Solski's moving towards those boots now. I think he'll be pretty happy about that.
Will he be happy?
I mean, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll find out.
Welcome to SGLive. We can actually see.
You can see the faces of the runners as they experience the seed firsthand.
They look pretty intense right now because we're kind of getting towards the end of the race.
And remember that the runners are wearing noise-canceling headphones, so they have no idea where their opponents are. They have to guess, based on how they feel the seed's going for themselves, whether they're ahead or behind.
Honestly, if they can't hear us, they can't hear anything. So that's pretty good. All right, so for us, we've already seen both of these routes. Solski's going to finish up the Village of Outcasts area, get himself a powder, and more importantly, the boots. jkoper going to finish this dungeon here, and then he'll have access to the Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, we potentially might see both of these runners getting to the Pyramid Fairy at maybe about the same time. jkoper's kind of in a more convenient location for that. So, and Solski kind of needs to finish this route, so he might be a hair ahead, but it's going to be neck and neck. Swamp is one of those kind of longer dungeons.
We got some like rubber banding here, like from Mario Kart, rubber banding logic.
Speaking of Mario Kart, I heard it from a friend that they were going to call it Mario Speedwagon.
Yep.
Oh, I can see the regret coming from Solski because he's slowly hammering these pegs and not getting the boots
this
first.
is gonna be funny.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty funny. Yeah.
I thought when you said regret, I thought you just heard the joke.
Well, yeah, maybe we're all regretting that, but
All right, jkoper's going to do the left-hand side first. Hopefully he doesn't flood the key. Very important to tell yourself that.
Okay.
We're good. We're good. No commentator curse. I wish only the best. I've flooded my share of keys in my day.
All right, this image coming up with the dwarf actually pulling the sword out.
Oh, here's the sword. Why would you go pick that up? We threw it in the well for a reason.
But that is the gold sword, the butter sword for Solski. So
You know,
that's kinda
this
nice.
is why, the dwarves, say, oh, come back later. We'll have your sword later. We're totally making it right now. They're
Are they just
taking
pulling
them up
pulling it out? Yeah.
They keep a steady supply of swords down there. I mean, it's only 10 rupees.
Yeah, that's...
All right, let's see Solski's reaction here.
There you go, Boots. Oh, there it is.
But this will be a nice route from Purple Chest straight over to Desert, maybe?
Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
makes sense. And if he leaves the portal open, he could maybe go back to the Dark World and go for the Pyramid Fairy. I don't know what the plans are after that, because he will have the Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb.
They are going to be getting
Available.
to Pyramid Fairy at roughly the same time.
Well,
Unless Solski goes into Mire.
Solski has to complete Desert. I mean, it'll be kind of quick, but
Come back. Especially since we know that the desert layout will obviate the need to check that big chest as well.
All right, jkoper heading towards the back here. Just a few more chests, then he'll be fighting Argus.
and he won't have to return for the big chest. We know that the big key is there.
Solski not even picking up a fairy bottle. Oof.
He might be feeling a little behind, or maybe he's happy with the safeties he has. I mean, red mail, gold sword, 15 hearts.
Could always use more.
Could always kill Vitreous and then get the silver.
Get silver,
True.
yep.
True.
All right, so big checks left: Pyramid Fairy and Misery Mire. jkoper is going to be close to the pyramid after finishing Swamp, and Solski's going to be close to Mire after finishing Desert.
Someone's going to make the right call.
Yeah, but what's interesting is jkoper hasn't actually gone up Dark Death Mountain to collect that Bombos medallion.
Right for him.
So he doesn't have that as an option, which is, we don't know if that's good or bad.
Yeah. I mean, I think either way, jkoper's going to find himself up at Death Mountain after this.
Yeah, and even just throwing more checks in there is more time that jkoper is going to have to spend not getting Bombos.
We're still looking for 3 items. After all these checks, we need Red Cane, we need Ice Rod, we need Quake. Something's got to fall in line soon.
Looks like Solski's going to take a look at the bonk locations since he just picked up boots.
2 quick spins, takes down Argus. jkoper grabs that useless ether medallion.
But he doesn't know it's useless.
True. That's fair.
That's true. It's actually worth a grab.
But that's his 6th crystal.
So everything we need just for one dungeon.
So what jkoper needs right now is for both Red Cane and Bombos to be in Pyramid.
Could you
Quake?
imagine?
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
But then Ice Rod's on Misery Mire. So yeah, a lot of game to be played still.
I mean, Pyramid Fairy at this point has just as good a chance as having,
Yeah.
as Mire having something. So
Yeah,
this is a
and
fine play.
They're
and
each
good
gonna
routing on
they're each
jkoper's
gonna
part.
check 2 unique places.
Well,
but
we'll
we're looking
see.
for 3 items.
We don't know what Solski's kind of
Yeah.
a wild card here. If he wants to go for that Mire play or not, he has the access.
Right, and the thing is just that he's gonna be there after doing Desert, so it's gonna be. It could go either way, like you said. I agree.
Yeah. clever routing on jkoper's part, remembering that we have actually defeated Aghanim, so you can take that portal to speed up access to the Pyramid Fairy here. So these are some big checks coming up.
All right, 2 items. Let's go. Kane, Ice Rod, Dream.
Uh-oh.
The Kane Dream.
Ooh, this could hurt for Solski if the required item is actually on Vitreous.
Interesting.
But see now, jkoper is going to head up to Death Mountain not knowing he can't get into T-Rock. So it's just the only question right now is, does Vitreous have Ice Rod or Bombos? If the answer is yes, then jkoper has the advantage.
No, we have a bomb. You mean Quake?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Quake. Whatever one they need.
Yeah, you may want to keep an eye on jkoper's camera. There might be a little bit of disappointment when he gets to Turtle Rock and realizes,
I'm
oh, I
pretty
don't
sure
have
Quake
the
has to
medallion.
be in Mire at this point. There's nothing else left.
Right, but it's a matter of whether it's on Vitreous.
Yeah, of course.
Or can be accessed without the red cane. You know what would be really bad?
What?
If Quake is in Mire
Yeah.
and then Ice Rod is on Vitreous.
Oh.
That would be really...
Oh.
I think Solski missed his big key in Desert just now, so he's going to have a rude awakening when he gets to that boss key door.
Wait, did he just mirror after getting the
After
arrows?
getting the arrows.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Solski on tilt.
I wouldn't say tilt. I think it's just nervousness, pressure. You know, these guys are on a big stage and putting on a good show. Pretty close race, too, so. It won't cost him too much time, but he will have to go back for that big key.
Yeah, jkoper sees the Quake and keeps his cool. Maybe he can use that cool on Trinex and skip the...
We don't have the Ice Rod,
Yeah. Exactly.
So he can use his cool instead.
I guess. jkoper
Alright.
about to get that butter sword, too.
Yep, something is missing.
Oh no.
Ooh.
Like I'm not mean to laugh at Solski. I just enjoy his faces.
No comment?
Okay.
I'll comment. I mean to laugh at Solski. Alright, so there's that Bombos for jkoper. So he's probably going to finish up Spike Cave and then consider the Mire play because there's really not much else to do.
I mean, from his perspective, having the cane, it's an easy call to go into Mire. But at least being able to beat it all at once, not have to worry about Vitreous having one of our items, pretty good.
Alright, big key has been received by Solski. He went back. So it's a pretty quick land mollusk kill, and then I think he'll know where to go with that Pyramid Fairy being in play. But he does also have the Mire option. Because he's right there.
We know Quake is in there. The big question is, where is Ice Rod?
Yep. Yeah, and if you find Quake immediately in Mire, do you consider Ice Rod also being in Mire, or do you run up to
man.
Turtle Rock immediately? Like,
How
there's-
behind do you feel is the
Yeah.
question.
plays can be made.
Okay, Solski tackling Lamolas.
jkoper going straight to Misery Mire.
Solski just equipped Flute, so I don't think he's going into Mire.
I think he's just going to go right to Pyramid Fairy.
Seems likely. I mean, I think those are his only options.
That's probably for the best. I mean, it's required to go through Pyramid Fairy. He'll have Kane, so it gets rid of that doubt.
Now the question is, if Solski finds Quake, is he going to continue looking for Ice Rod?
I mean, jkoper.
Either
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
but especially
Well,
Solski
true.
because he's going to be you know, going in there later. If he kind of makes a play, finds Quake in pieces, hoping that Ice Rod is on that laser bridge or somewhere in T-Rock.
Well, this is a close one.
What did I say earlier? Yeah, Ice Rod never trolls anybody.
Nope, never. So 2 items in Mire, one of which I think is our Quake. Wait, did they ever go to Ice Arcade? Yes, they did.
Yes. Okay. They both managed to find a way to route that back in because they pretty much last location the flute, based on what they knew. Ooh, early big key.
Not taking the bait to go to Vitreous.
Yeah, it's higher density up here.
Yeah. If it was a crystal, it could be a different story.
All right, Solski is grabbing that red cane.
I'm really interested in the fact that one of the big time differences right now is the fact that Helmasaur did not have an item.
Yeah.
That would have been another minute to 2 minutes jkoper has to spend in pot if Helmasaur had the item.
And that's
Yeah, assuming Solski wouldn't have gone back for it.
The difference in the race right now.
Yeah.
So here we go, jkoper, about halfway through Mire. Solski just entering. This is how close of a race we have right now.
Mm-hmm. And we might see different routes in Mire as well. Solski could head left and go to the cutscene chest and compass chest, which might pay off.
jkoper's trying to avoid the vanilla big key chest, which can be very slow and time consuming. And there's
There's
the
the Quake.
And
He's leaving.
Okay, he's making the play, hoping. I mean,
He's hoping Ice Rod is up in Turtle Rock.
Wow.
which is the
Oh, man.
statistical likelihood.
It's on Laser Bridge. I already said that.
Well, there's 5 items in Turtle Rock and then 1 in Mimic Cave
Right.
as well. And, you know, Trinex could have one of those items in addition to that. And you do need the Ice Rod to beat Trinex, so... Oh,
Whoops.
The dead rocks are so bad.
yeah, the second Mire item could be a big deal.
If it's Ice Rod, it's like a, what, 1 in 7 chance at this point, based on what we know?
Sounds right.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any other like fetch quests or other items that we can even receive that would, you know, take us out of Turtle Rock or Mire. So when you see that Ice Rod, that player's pretty much going to be ahead.
Can't believe it's come down to who gets Ice Rod.
You can't.
Okay. Fair.
Now there is like routing in GT that can also matter, and where the big key is there.
Right.
So there are some
They're
other
close
things,
enough that
other
there's
factors.
differences here.
Yeah, and also don't forget, we do have a Silverless Ganon fight to look forward to, so there could even just a couple, like a missed torch glitch or a couple extra cycles could close the gap as well.
Yeah, I don't expect them to have trouble, you know, in the health department. Right now, their equipment is amazing.
I mean,
But
fighting
anything's
again-
possible, right?
Yep.
Death isn't the biggest danger when fighting Ganon.
All right, Solski also heading right out after getting Quake.
Okay.
Okay, so he's right now just needs to hope to out-execute jkoper in Turtle Rock.
And Ganon's Tower. Or Mire, if we have to go back.
So there's up to 5 items. We mentioned this earlier. In Turtle Rock, there's the one at Mimic Cave. jkoper just got one of them.
But we also need to find a bunch of keys early on here in Turtle Rock. That was some fun Dead Rock hook shotting from Solski there with the Dead Rock so many times.
Interesting.
Only one small key available. I think that forces vanilla big key.
Yeah.
In this circumstance.
Which they were going to check anyway.
Right. Oh man, this is close. Gotta grab this key from the pokey here. Evade some chain chomps. Can you play as chain chomp in your Mario Kart game?
You can get a chain chomp item if you're playing Double Dash and play as the babies.
There you go. First featured in Link to the Past, right?
Nah. Actually, the chain chomps are actually from Link's Awakening.
Right.
Guess you have like Bow Wow.
What?
Yeah, Bow Wow.
Chain chomps were right there.
They were different.
Okay.
They had their mouth open.
Oh, okay,
always.
true.
Bow Wow opens and closes his mouth. I just like Link's Awakening. I'm sorry.
All right, so there's that vanilla big key. We're going to be moving towards Mimic Cave next, and then the Turtle Rock big chest.
Where is Fire Rod? Or
Ice
Ice Rod. I mean, where's Fire Rod's in their back pocket? But
Yeah. Well, it might not even be here. That's
we're down to 4
the
total
terrifying thing.
chests. Well, checks. So Gold Sword swings does as much damage as a spin from Tempered, so really you could just slash the pokies.
Almost got the really nice strat from Solski in the chain chomp room. Just block was a little too far to the left.
Still excellently navigated. And here we go into Mimic Cave for jkoper.
Is this it? Is this the Ice Rod dream? Nope.
All right, moving towards the Turtle Rock big chest now.
As a commentator, I sort of want Ice Rod to be mired. That's going to give us plenty to talk about during an interview.
Just
That's
10
the
bombs
third
there.
item. There's only 2 left. Oh my. Solski just picked up his big key here. jkoper about to head down towards Laser Bridge. Guaranteed small key in this chest.
What if Solski makes like a cosmic brain play and skips Mimic?
Just
That would be very risky, but it's a play that can be made. You got really nice pokey RNG there. Managed to take down both all at once. Four more chests coming up on Laser Bridge, though.
Mirror. Oh my goodness.
Well, maybe he's checking the
He
big chest
did
first.
it!
Maybe he's checking the big chest first.
Sense. Listen, because he can check Laser Bridge and then mirror back here to
Oh,
check
he's
Mimic.
actually skipping it. Okay,
Yeah.
here we go.
'Cause he equipped Red Cane after bombs. It actually, I really like it. It's
Except if you actually got Ice Rod there, then you'd have to go back through the dungeon again.
There's the blue cane.
There's
But
only
there-
one more item here, guys.
there are more items on Laser Bridge than in Mimic.
Well, this is the last chest in Turtle Rock.
This is it.
That
It
can
has
have
to
the
be
ice rod.
here.
Oh
It's there.
man,
Wow.
that's a fantastic
For the
sight
record,
for Solski.
Who said Ice Rod on Laser Bridge?
Half of
This
chat
guy.
probably said that.
All right, jkoper in go mode. Gonna go fight Trinex, and then that's it. Into GT we go. Solski right behind. About to do Laser Bridge.
Yeah, skipping that Mimic Cave will close the gap here, and then The routing through Ganon's tower to find that big key is going to really matter.
Oh. Does he not know he doesn't have Ice Rod?
What?
Does he?
Solski?
What is
Oh,
happening?
no.
What?
Okay.
Oh.
I guess we'll see what happens. This is tragic because
He'll pause. Okay. He'll see right here.
Wait a minute.
I think he's going to ride back. So
Oh, no.
Hey, it could have been worse if he went in there.
This explains why he skipped the Mimic Cave.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
How do you even go back through this room? I don't even know.
he's finding his way.
All
Pretty
right,
low on
jkoper
health.
heading into GT.
I'm
and
more worried about his magic.
I don't think we're running the
got
bot
butter.
or anything, but chat, you know what to do. Get your guesses in 1 to 22 where you think the big key is. For fun.
Where do you guys think it is?
Tile room. Clearly.
I'm going to say behind Ice Armos, left chest.
If only they had
Oh,
silvers.
randomizer room, upper left.
It's generous.
That's generous.
In a scene like this, yes.
That's not generous to DM.
All right, here we go. jkoper's going to right first. If he finds a small key, he will have the option to continue to the right.
Solski, you might want to hold on to your magic.
Nah, he's fine.
He's
he has
fine.
half magic.
It is going to cost him time on the cutscene, though.
jkoper continues right. Are we going to see a tile room play? We're not. Whew. Managed to dodge that wall master there.
All right, Solski is finished up. Trinex, he's also going to make his way into GT. And if he goes left first, this could even things out.
Don't say that yet.
Well, okay, hold on. You got 4 checks here.
All right, bombs, map, red rupee, and a full heart.
Oh, boy. jkoper still
He probably
in the
wants
lead,
to grab the
unless,
small key here.
Yeah. He's not going to do full right. Okay, so jkoper's still in the lead even if Solski skips right side.
Now,
Unless
if he
tile
does,
room.
well, yeah, tile room, of course.
Solski
But if he does
does
the
tile room immediately.
strat where you go left first, then mirror do right all the way to Ice Armos, it could still come down to how
There's
they
a lot
route
of options
GT.
available.
There is.
And execution, every little bit of execution matters at this stage of the race. Those small hiccups, like you saw, jkoper had to remenu there. That's a small amount of
yeah.
time that adds up.
So what are we at? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Still no big key. Solski's also going right. Will he check the tile room?
Do it.
Only tile room. Oh, I thought he was putting cape on.
Interestingly, we haven't even found the cape. Got the blue cane recently, but okay. There's still an option for Solski to create a route deviation if he continues full right. After these 4 checks.
Okay. Oh, never mind. I thought he was going to skip the small key, which could save him a little time.
So that was number 13, I think.
Yes.
All right, here comes Alucard's guess.
You can see jkoper letting it all out there. I'll wait for
It's
that
a
bomb.
frustrating. See, we're an hour 50 in. Neither of our runners are done.
Oh, wow.
That was 15.
On the money.
So
You
if you
said
pick,
top left.
if you pick 15, give yourself a cookie, just like Alu will after the race. Oh, I wanted to get the timer. Okay, when he walks through this door, let's see the time difference here. About 49:15.
Okay.
Looking like maybe a minute and a half difference, I think.
You got to remember that these guys are doing silverless Ganon, so there's a lot of execution at the end of the game. You got to go through the gauntlet, what we call the gauntlet here, which is a bunch of rooms leading up to Land Molus 2.
Yep.
And those can be very frustrating if the enemy RNG does not cooperate.
Okay, here's the gauntlet for jkoper.
It's room 1 down.
Speaking of enemy RNG, not quite pleasant.
Yeah, but Solski has... Oh, I found a bug net.
Can make the difference.
Found the big key.
It was in the top left.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering what was going on, but it's fine.
Well, jkoper had opened the next chest looking for a key, I think.
Right.
That's why.
Pretty good gauntlet from jkoper moving into Land Molus 2.
You do want to make sure you go upstairs with at least one small key, just in case there's no small keys upstairs. You need 2. There's 2 locked doors. I've seen many a runner burned by that. Totally never happened to me, I swear.
All right, that's 2 cycles on Land Molus. That's something that Solski could potentially improve here.
So yeah, it looks like he's about a minute 40 or so difference. We'll see if Solski can close the gap. It's a very close race between our runners here.
jkoper taking a few extra seconds in that Wizrobe room. Solski using Fire Rod to take out a lot of the enemies in this gauntlet. Makes quick work of Gauntlet 2. We're really not looking for any other items at this stage. They know that the silver arrows are on the pedestal, so
Right.
jkoper is just going to
They have red
skip
mail.
these checks and just go
Gold
right
sword.
along. Gonna need to grab some magic along the way, but maybe powder these anti-fairies and bunny beam, but
Oh,
We got
Solski running out of
Big
magic.
room coming up here for jkoper.
oh,
Okay.
good Moldorm 2 fight. It's on to Aghanim 2.
Solski's magic.
He
right
should be
now.
fine because he has lantern.
Yeah, he'll have to use a lamp.
You can pick up some magic in
Yeah, it's
some of
true.
those torch rooms, so
Yeah.
he should be fine.
Half magic as well.
Yeah.
And lamp, yeah.
All right, 5310 jkoper heading into Aghanim 2. Let's see how this goes.
2.
Not too bad of a pattern.
All right,
There's
one more
2
hit.
more, yeah. Very nicely
right.
done.
jkoper moving on. Just again and away. So about 54-10 to go into Ganon. Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Seeing some hover tech
Could have paid off.
from Solski there, but unfortunately does not manage to make it across the gap, using boots to try to float across that gap.
So Ganon has 4 phases, and each phase you need just 6 swings of the golden sword.
Already into phase 2. Plenty of safeties available.
jkoper is equipping his lamp. What he's going to try to do is, after the final hit of this phase, the left torch is going to go out, and he wants to light that before the one on the right goes out. And that will keep the right torch from ever going out. It's called the torch glitch, and it's especially important with Silverless Ganon. Now, it has enough magic with the half magic that could still be done either way, but I'm going to play it really safe there and just spam the Y button. So now this is going to require 12?
12.
Yep.
12 spins.
12
Yep.
spins. 2 down already.
You can potentially get 3 spins
Ooh.
if you time it right. You don't want to be freezing Ganon. That's where you use those silver arrows. So
Yeah, that's that little marginal time losses that you were talking about before that could make this race a little closer.
And he's got a good lead though. He's starting to get a rhythm. Oh, spoke too soon.
Just gotta keep cool. You're almost there, jkoper. See Solski employing some dash strats. Stay in the center there.
Yeah, it keeps you from taking a big bounce off of the sword swing.
The lamp. That helped them.
Solski getting into phase 3. jkoper just a
This is
few
close.
hits away from taking this match.
And there's the final
Don't
hit on
fall
Ganon.
Cross, make sure I don't come to the curses.
And honestly, I would say that this came down to Helmasaur not having an item. When you get down to it.
GG's jkoper.
GG. About 157 flat.
Wow.
Well played by jkoper, and I mean well played by Solski. He's right there at the end. Gonna see him finish off Ganon here, lock in a time. But just really high-level play from both of these players. I mean, we had such a stingy seed for quite some time. We had to go through Aghanim. We had to go all the way around the world. We had to find our mitts and our hammer and go into Pendant Mire.
Just imagine Solski killing Ganon at this point.
How many hits you got left? No, you can't hear us.
If he could hear us, there's a problem there.
He says 2. Oh no, you didn't.
Just walk off after you kill him.
Okay, here we go.
Hover across the gap. GG Solski.
Excellent match between Solski and jkoper.
Down to within a minute.
So I think we're going to try to get these guys in here for an interview now.
Yep. make you do that. Well, we're back. How's it going, guys? GG for that amazing seed.
Thanks. That was quite a race. Is that supposed to be us there?
Yeah, ignore that.
You turned into Alucard.
Oh, okay.
So, Solski,
Hey, there we go.
Hey.
how about that ice rod?
How about that ice rod? It's my second race today, and I've done it twice now. So forgotten that I needed the ice rod. It was amazing. Luckily, it was in laser bridge.
It was
right?
laser
It
bridge,
was
yeah.
a close race.
Well, you
It
went
was,
right by Mimic Cave, and you looked out that there was nothing there.
Yeah. Well, it was Turtle Rock, the goof, and then Desert Palace too. It was pretty bad time losses. So.
So, jkoper, GG's on that run.
Thanks.
That seed was something else. Required Aghanim, required Sahasrahla,
Yep.
required Pyramid Fairy.
Yep.
I did want to ask you, though, about your play to go into pod, because you had a lot of choices at the time,
Yeah.
and you opted to do a pendant pod instead of, like, Crystal Swamp.
Well, yeah, I was going for item density, and there were so many
Okay.
items that were outstanding yet that I wanted to know
Yeah.
how I was going to feel about Left Side Swamp once I got in there. So, there was a really good chance there was something in pod.
Yeah.
And obviously then once I got to Swamp, I was full clearing it. Then I decided to do Ice for kind of the same reason. Get more of a read on Swamp. And, of course, there's nothing in Ice either. And there was hardly anything in Swamp either.
Right.
So there
Well,
was
you
just
were
nothing
able to
anywhere.
put Swamp right in with Pyramid Fairy, which I think worked out in your favor. And
Yeah.
putting off Dark Death Mountain also really worked out in your favor because that's where Bombos was. You were able to get it, go right in the mire, and just be able to just clear everything right one after the other. So that really worked out.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure how putting off Dark Death Mountain really changed too much, I guess. I don't know.
No, it didn't really change anything, but I think it worked out.
Yeah.
That there wasn't that you didn't need Turtle Rock access or anything there.
Yeah. Yeah, this seed was really interesting at the start because the bombs weren't easy to come by, so it made routing really awkward. There wasn't really an easy money source unless there was a higher tier tree pull or something.
Right.
So, it was scraping by to buy bombs and then had to put off the bottle vendor's item and then, grab those 300 off of the desert ledge just to get the Zora item. I knew
Both of you were actually really close. Going into Dark World the first time, you barely had enough rupees to do like Zora, or you had to choose between Pod or Zora. And Solski choosing to do Pod first, which at least you were able to get all the items there the first time while you were there. But it's unfortunate that it didn't really give you anything. There was nothing there.
Yeah.
Just hearts.
Speaking of pod, I think we saw a big possible time difference with Helmasaur and the big chest having map and compass. Since Solski didn't yet have the hammer when he went into pod, he wouldn't have been able to check Helmasaur and maybe wouldn't have gone back to check it. But then when you go into pod for your checks, if Helmasaur's got an item, that's extra time you're spending in pod. And it was a really close race that could have actually been the difference if Helmasaur has an item and Solski skips it.
Yeah.
Of course, if Helmasaur would have had something important, that would have
Yeah,
maybe
if
made it longer for him to go back.
I mean, you both made some very interesting choices. You weren't really following each other. You were divergent, doing different things at different times. So it was always like, who's going to find Ice Rod first, or who's going to get Quake first, and that sort of thing. So that was an interesting seed.
Yeah, I think for me the most interesting thing was the bow on the ped. So it was good for a couple things, right? Because you knew that pod and Eastern were pendants, so it had to be somewhere close by, right? If you didn't run into it early, so you kind of knew where it could, maybe could not be. So it was pretty interesting. For me, I already had the bow, right? So
Yeah. I want to know, when you first went into Eastern Palace, had you done a map check before Eastern Palace early on? Okay. I didn't see it come up on your menu, so I was actually just kind of wondering, is he listening to this pendant music, just hoping that it's green when he finishes?
No, I knew.
Okay, you had checked.
So you did Eastern the first time in?
Oh, yeah, I did it before, so sure.
Oh. Wait, what?
He went right to Eastern after Kakariko. He just went for it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, for my next trick, I'll tell you how I missed boots for like an hour and a half. he's like, what?
Wait, where were the boots again?
They were in the doors.
Smiths, yeah, Smiths.
Oh, okay.
And then I almost forgot mitts because I'm like, I haven't done a distillery in what was it?
And if you walked right by that, I mean,
game,
we saw you walk by boots because jkoper picked it up and it's like, oh, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, I'm just going right for digging. Like, oop, it's bad. So.
Alright. What better time to get boots than right before the hammer pegs?
Right.
Well,
I'm gonna be too.
you don't know this, jkoper.
He did that.
Solski actually maybe did the hammer pigs right before getting the boots.
I mean, that's just bad routing. So
Oh.
sorry, man. It's true.
It's fine.
We
I'll-
had really
I'll take
good
the L.
routing. I
I'll
really
take the
liked
L.
your play in Turtle Rock, putting off Mimic Cave till after Laser Bridge, because there's more items on Laser Bridge, and you can mirror straight back to Mimic Cave.
Galaxy
Yeah, I don't
brain.
think that was intentional.
Tell him about desert.
It was boot locked.
No,
It had a fire rod.
Desert
had a
was
big key too, didn't it?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
did. Yeah, it did. Yeah, I forgot that too.
So,
Oh man.
so any other thoughts about the seed, guys?
I don't know. I forgot how to fight Ganon. It was very stressful.
Yeah, because you know he's like right there, and you're like, I just need to.
He's got to be somewhere, and I don't know. I cleared so much that you
Yeah.
know there's almost no
You
chance
don't
that
feel
he's
like
not
you're
right there.
ahead at that point.
Yeah.
You're just when is my opponent gonna be
No,
finished?
but once you get into the Ganon fight, you're like, hey, there's a chance I can win.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah, I
don't know.
forgot how the game worked in moments, but you know what? We got through it, so
Yeah.
a lot of fun. It's good.
yeah, I did a couple little dumb things. After I got Quake, I went into the Turtle Rock Warp, and then I jumped down to go into Turtle Rock, and then I immediately mirrored.
So was this the first match that you guys had?
For me, it's my second.
Okay.
Yeah, he played earlier.
Well,
So-
good luck in the rest of your matches. I think
Thanks.
that's all I have for you guys.
We'll just add this to the highlight reel.
Can you take that highlight away from him?
Thanks for commentating. I could hear you guys at a couple, like, not any commentary. I could hear you laugh
Yes.
at a couple points,
I'm sure.
specifically for the pedestal, I think, and Zora. So,
Okay.
But yeah.
Got to work on those noise canceling headphones.
Yeah.
I guess.
So
I don't know. That's all I could hear. So I don't know.
thanks to Alu and Jeff for commentating. Cross, you did all
Yeah.
right.
How do you know? I could have totally bombed.
So I do want to say to our viewers, make sure you stick around. We're going to have some more tournament action coming up. And also take a look at our sister station, SpeedGaming 2, for Marathon starting tomorrow.
Yeah. All the info is somewhere on this. Up there.
Pointing is hard. But thanks for watching all.
All right. See you next time.